So let's just talk about a little bit of what's going on right now. Because here's the deal. When we are where we are in our world right now, one of the biggest things that is striking all of us is uncertainty. But here's the deal. Everybody is struggling with uncertainty. Uncertainty where you're going to take, if your kids are going to go to school. Uncertainty for people who may be out of a job. Uncertainty of when this is going to go away, if it's ever going to go away. Uncertainty. But here's the deal. This has only exposed what's actually true. And the actual truth about uncertainty is that you have to embrace it. Because we make it up in our minds that things are certain when they aren't. You know, when we think that we've got everything planned out. I mean, come on. You guys are working in the behavioral health industry. How much goes according to plan?
Never.
Right? And so why do we make it up in our mind as though we know what's certain? We don't. And so here's the deal. If we embrace the truth that uncertainty is always a factor, then we're not shocked by it. You see, what happens is we make it up in our minds that this is how it's going to go. And then when it doesn't go that way, oof, it gets ugly. We start going, oh no, and then this is going to happen. How many guys go down the rabbit hole? Like this is bad. Well, and then if that happens, then this is going to happen. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in this pit, like, how did I get here? But what happens is we build up these expectations that we're certain about things. That we're certain about how our relationships are going to go, or that we're certain that our coworkers are going to show up, or that we're certain that our health is always going to be there. But it's just not true. Right? So we have to adopt the mentality that uncertainty is a part of life, and when we embrace that, we adjust. It doesn't mean that we don't make plans, guys, right? We have to make plans. And we have to have expectations for ourselves and expectations for others. But when we understand that certainty itself is a myth, then we operate in a better place. We operate in a place of adjustment. We operate in a place of finding solutions outside of the certainty that we thought we had. Right? And then look, I mean, you guys tell me, what things that you thought you were certain of that have not? You guys can just spitball. It can be work related, it can be relational. I just want you guys to throw some things at me real quick.
That we think we're certain?
That you thought were certain and has been exposed as uncertain.
Well, that happens to me all the time. It's nothing.
or everything.
Sounds like everything.
I thought my staff, I thought they would be emotionally stronger, and they need a lot of coddling and attention. It caught me off guard.
Yeah. Great.
Mhm.
Who else?
I thought I'd be married by now.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, let's bring it to let's be real. No, that's look, I thought my health was certain until I came down with COVID.
Oh, you had the COVID?
I did have
I
it.
had the COVID.
And it kicked my ass.
COVID's
You know? And I was somebody who was like, I work out just about every day. I really enjoyed working out and staying in shape, and but my health became uncertain. Right? So look, this is what I'm saying. Is if you are in your life shaping the certainty that's supposed to happen, you're going to be very disappointed. Because we don't have certainty, guys. Right? Certainty is a myth. That's number one that I wanted to talk about. Okay? Number two is we have to have hope. In the uncertainty, we as leaders, we as parents, we as teachers, as employers, we have to have hope. Especially in uncertain times. And if you think about it, if this room was totally dark, You wouldn't know what's going on. It could be kind of chaotic. But as soon as somebody just brings in a little bit of light, it illuminates. We have to be that light for our departments. We have to be that light for our families. Because we can't count on somebody else. How many guys have been disappointed by somebody in the past few months? In the past few weeks? The past few days? The past few hours? Right? 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 And so this is the thing. We can't put that in somebody else's hands. That's up to us. If you want there to be light in the room, be the light. You know, like you can't be one of the persons that's grumbling and finding all the negative. Guys, the negative is there. It's there. And if you want to be the one that uncovers all the negative, right? But the positive things are there too. And it depends on what we choose to focus on. And so think about it. Think about the difficulties that you may be struggling with some of the people that report to you. If you decide to be the beacon of hope, and you're going to find the best in them, right? There's still going to be junk with everybody. We're all carrying uncertainty. We're all carrying emotional garbage that we haven't flushed yet. But if we're taking to our team that we care about them, and we're bringing just a little bit of light into their life, we're going to get more out of them. We're going to get more out of our kids. We're going to get more out of our significant other if we're being that light. So often, we find ourselves in the dark and we say, somebody needs to turn the lights on. Right? We put it on somebody else. But I don't think anybody in here didn't raise a hand that you've been disappointed by somebody. You can't put it on somebody else. If you want the light on, you got to do something about it. And we all would much rather live in light than we would in dark. And that's so important. It's so important for the people that report to us because hope is contagious. Gosh, hope is contagious. But how? And hope is needed when things are dark. When things are uncertain. That's when hope is needed most, right? Because when everything's going well, everybody operates in a great way when everything's going well, right? But when things aren't going well, that's when we need to say, hold on. And shine some light. And decide to be that. Intentionally decide to be that. Guys, it doesn't just happen. You don't just, some of us are more hopeful than others. Some of us have a mental bend towards being negative. Some of us have a mental bend towards being positive. But really, let's just focus on what's true. Right? And if we can come to that, the reality is that we all want to be surrounded by more light. We all want to be surrounded by more hope. And it's on us to carry that to our team. It's on us to carry that towards our family. And it's contagious. And if you think about it, when we get locked into that negative spiral, we just need somebody to shake us. We need somebody to bring us hope. And so it's funny because I'm asking you guys to do it on your own. For you to be the light. But there's got to be somebody that you're being impacted by that's also bringing light into you. If you're surrounding yourself with some negative people, and you only entertain those gossipy conversations where they heard this about so-and-so and this about so-and-so, where are you going to find yourself? Right? And so we have to say no to those things that take us down that hole. Right? Mm-hmm. It's a big deal. Hope is so important because this is the deal. And it's with your employees, it's with your significant other, it's with your kids. Guys, when we have hope, we keep fighting. When you lose hope, you stop fighting. If I was in the ring with Conor McGregor, no hope. I'm running. All there is to it. But if I know that I have a chance, and I hope that I have a chance, I'm going to stay in the fight. Right? And so we have to cling to that hope. We have to, because if we stay in the fight, maybe our people stay in the fight too. We can't be sure of it because some people are going to bail at the first sign of adversity. Some people are going to bail at the first sign of challenge and difficulty. They just don't want any part of it. But then there's going to be some people that are just looking for somebody to lead them. They're looking for somebody that has that light, that has that hope, that says, okay, you know what? I'm coming too. I don't know really what's going to happen. Because this is the thing, is when you're in a fight, you get your ass kicked. You could, but if you're not in the fight, guaranteed nothing good's going to happen. So if you're in the fight, you have a chance. And for us as leaders of our families and of our departments, we have to be the ones that are going to stay in the fight. And you don't stay in the fight if you don't have hope. Hope is massive. Because there's so many things that tell us not to hope. Oh, you did that before, and you got disappointed, didn't you? You stuck your neck out in that relationship, and you got disappointed, didn't you? You tried to help that employee, and they made you look bad. Right? We guard ourselves. And when we guard ourselves, we're not operating out of hope, we're operating out of fear. When we guard ourselves, we're trying not to be, or we're concerned about us. When you're consumed with hope, you're concerned about everybody else. Like you lead with that. Right? When we're leading with fear, and you don't know it, that's even scarier. You see, like if we're trying to protect ourselves, there's no way that we can inspire other people. Because we're just concerned about us. Do you guys get that correlation? Right? And so look, if we're leading with hope, we have a chance. We have a chance to do something that nobody else thinks we can do. I mean, think about how awesome things have grown in this company over the past year and a half, 2 years. Right? And the collectiveness that you guys have had. And there's hospitals, there's behavioral hospitals that are going under. Not you guys. Because you guys stay in the fight. And you stay together. And you keep hope. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be hard. It just means that it's going to be valuable. It means that it's going to be worth it. It's supposed to be hard. Greatness is a hard thing to achieve. Because it weeds out the ones that are not ready to be there. It weeds out the ones that are going to quit. It weeds out the ones that don't want to fight for something that's difficult. But the collective nature of your group is allowing you guys to continue and to grow and to find solutions. But here's the thing and the challenge. When there's adversity, when there's uncertainty, sometimes it can lead to finger pointing. Right? Oh, they didn't do their job. That's their fault. It's this, it's that, it's everything outside of me. But we can't control the things outside of us. And finger pointing doesn't help anybody. Now, I'm not suggesting that we lack in accountability. Because everybody has their job description and everybody has a job to do. Right? But along with accountability also comes grace. Also comes hope. If people are not doing their job, but they want to do it better, that's one thing. When people are not doing their job and they just want to push it off on everything, on anybody else, that's a problem. Right? And so we have to still, in that scenario, lead with, have conversation and relationship with somebody that inspires them to be able to do more. You know how many people don't believe in themselves? I don't have an exact figure, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of people that they are their worst internal critic, and they're waiting for you to confirm that for them. That they suck. That they just can't do it. But what if you didn't confirm it for them? What if you spoke some truth into them that it's not easy, but they can do it if they stick to it? What if you took that hope and that light to them and said, look, it is hard. It is difficult. But when you do it, you become proud of yourself. You see, people that believe in themselves are not just confident people born out of the womb. The people that believe in themselves and that are confident have gone through the crap. They've been through it, so they're not scared of it. And we've all been through something. And it gives us confidence when we get through it and we overcome it. So for those of us that have overcome, we also have to instill that confidence in somebody else. we also have to take that light and that hope to somebody else. It's on us. We can't expect everybody to have the same mentality that we have. We can't expect everybody to think in a way of success, in a way of achievement, in a way of pushing through. We have to invite them into the journey with us. And it's hard to do. Leadership is hard, guys. It's hard, but it is worthy. It is worth taking on the difficulty, because when you lead well and that group goes with you, man, it's rewarding. But if we as leaders are concerned about what's happening to us, we are not going to lead well. We're going to lead with fear. We're going to guard ourselves instead of inspiring others to come with us. Lead with hope. And then third, the last thing that I want to talk about is, what are you doing personally to put yourself in a position of bringing hope into the office, of bringing hope into your home, of bringing hope into what other, look, we're in COVID right now, I don't know where else you go, right? So I don't know what else you're doing, but what are you doing personally to make yourself better? I don't know if you guys should. we're taking pictures. I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Sorry.
But what are you doing to make yourself better? Like, I want to know. I'm calling us out right now. And if it's nothing, be honest with yourself and say nothing. Don't fake it. When we fake it, oh, we know it. Other people know it, but then we still kind of fake it. Like, let's just be real with ourselves. What do you do to make yourself better? Anybody?
So I'll start. So this is a good. My auntie's a pastor, so the same words that you're telling me, she told me to look into myself also. So I've been doing some revamping with myself. So in my department, I'm starting my, like I was telling Ms. Beth, I started a new training manual for each person in my department. I'm putting like a different vibe and spirit in my department. I'm putting pictures up, positive stuff up, like I'm making my department more positive. And I did the same in my home. I just moved into a house now, so it's like a positive, peaceful environment. So I'm like changing, I'm deleting people out, blocking people, like changing my surroundings so to make me a better, positive person.
Yes.
That's me.
Let's go, Q.
Q.
I'm with it. Who else?
I'm not going home and working.
Good.
Yeah. Cooking more and reading more and just enjoying like island life more.
Yeah.
So just spending time, because I would just leave here and then go home and get on the computer and then be like looking at stuff and everything, and then it's like 11.
Yeah.
And then you do the same thing again.
Sure.
And I'll be like, why am I on this computer? And she's like, I know, why am I on this? And they're like, no. So yeah. So just like having boundaries. Yeah, having boundaries.
I like it.
Yeah, and so I need to get my work done here, so letting the other
Yeah.
people do their job and not
Yeah.
rescuing them.
And it's amazing when we find joy in other parts of life. How much better work is when you come to work, because it's not an all the time thing. You know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Who else?
I'm trying to balance work and home. Notice we all laugh.
That's hard.
To try to, get it manageable, we're not spending so much time. But, all these reports and everything that corporate wants, and these monthly close, and da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, yes, Chris, it is ongoing, but yes, working on that. Started exercising again.
Awesome.
Swimming at night, every night. Like last night, 11 o'clock, I got in the pool.
Good
I
Lord.
got in
Yeah,
there.
it was only 89 degrees.
It was
Right.
cool. So I've been doing that, always encouraging my staff. I have to fuss at them sometimes, but positive reinforcement. I know
Right, and look.
and they have to be held accountable. And
Sure.
you can't paint everything rosy, and we're all positive. But there's a certain amount of accountability you got to hold people.
Absolutely, and
And you can't
accountability.
ignore it.
No,
because you're a
and
bad leader.
And you hold people accountable for them,
Exactly.
because they can do better. And the tone of which we hold people accountable is huge.
Mhm.
Because there's a tone that says, I know you can do better and I believe in you, now go do it. Then there's a tone of, you suck, you never get this right. You might even say the same words, but the tone is massive. But holding people accountable is absolutely.
It's imperative.
One of the reasons that I am I'm growing in my communication, that I'm growing as a businessman, is because my wife holds me accountable to being great. And if I don't want to be great, she really, her tactics of holding me accountable, right? But if I want to be great, she knows I want to be great, and she holds me accountable, I have a chance. So you guys also have to understand too, when you're working with your employees, what's their tolerance for how good they want to be. Because some people don't want to be that good, and if you keep pushing, you have this expectation for them, but they don't want to be great, then you're just wasting energy.
Struggle with that.
Right? And so, but this is the important part, is that we have to understand with our people where they are, what they want to be, how good they want to be, because this is the thing. If somebody says, I want to be good, I want to be really, really good, and you start pushing them a little bit, and they don't want to be that good.
Yeah.
If people are not taking critique, they don't want to be great.
Yeah.
If people can't be coached, they don't want to be great. Right? And so it's also important for us to know, right? To know what their threshold is for how much we can push them. Because if we don't know that, we're going to waste a lot of energy where it doesn't need to be wasted. Let's put it onto the people who want to grow. Right? Let's put it onto the people. And then look, here's the conversation that you have with somebody who doesn't want to be coached. What's going on? Why don't you believe in yourself? Right? Because we don't want to, when we get pushed in a place of a wound or a soft spot or something that we don't, one of those buttons you don't want anybody to push because it gets you defensive right away. When that happens, something's going on there emotionally that is making that person not believe in themselves. Right? And sometimes we just have to sit and say, hey, I really think that we can be doing, use we a lot too. We can be doing better. What's going on? Like, what's holding you back? When we have those 5-minute, 10-minute conversations with somebody, you might be able to unlock something. Right? But don't waste energy on people that say, I want to be great, but their actions say, I'm very comfortable being mediocre. Don't keep pushing. Right? And then feed into the ones who want to grow, want to be great. Okay, who else? What else are you doing to be better, to grow?
She was going first. Go ahead.
Well, okay. So I had like a big issue a couple of weeks ago that just came to the head that I didn't think a lot of people liked me, and I was like kind of in this shell, and I didn't really know how to, break out. So me and Chris had a conversation, and he was like, just call him out. So in him saying that, I realized that if I wanted to be a part of a team, I had to start working and putting myself out there to be a team player.
Yeah.
So since I did that, I think I'm opening up more, and I'm enjoying coming to work and, seeing everybody's face every morning and speaking and stuff like that. So when I go home, my light is my boyfriend. He encouraged me to stay in school. I'm still in college. I go home and I be in college just to teach my son that me being at 41 and I'm still interested in making myself better, then you can do the same thing. It's no excuse.
Yeah.
And I moved to a new city, and it's like I'm releasing the burden off of always making sure my family is good, and now I'm living for me.
Let's go, Bob. I think just to get you up here. But listen, that's inspiring, right? For all of us. For all of us. Because when we do something more, something different, get out of our comfort zone. I mean, how many of you guys knew that about Bobby?
you should
Why
move.
is she
Well,
angry?
no,
As a
right,
boyfriend, I should
right,
move.
but I'm
Makes
saying
me
about
feel
the
like-
part, like, I didn't know if people liked me, and I didn't know about being,
that.
you didn't know that. So a couple of you did, but now as a team, we know, okay, maybe that's a place that we need to make sure she knows that she's appreciated and that we like her and that she's accepted, she's part of the team. I dig it, Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you for being open and honest with that, yes. Who else? What are you doing to make yourself better?
Tara?
Follow that.
My son hates school. He sits, I'm like, oh, you're gonna have to like it.
I do church every Sunday. I journal a lot. I finally finished my You Don't Have to Do It All book that Chris recommended at my yearly eval. So like doing like positive things like that.
Yeah.
And just trying to get out and visit friends and stay positive.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. And this is the thing, Tara, is that it's not about what anybody else is doing, so compare yourself to like the big things that somebody else is doing. We're all on our own journey, and we all have our own improvements to make. And they might be little baby steps, they might be big things at a time, and it depends where you are on your journey. And so don't compare yourself to somebody else. And this is I'm saying this even to myself. You know, as I'm trying to grow I'm trying to grow a new business, you know, so then I'm looking at the businesses that are further ahead than I am, and if I get wrapped up into that, I actually lose sight of myself. I actually lose sight of my own growth. I forget that, well, 3 months later, I'm doing better in my business than I was 3 months ago. You know, sometimes you lose sight of your own progression and your own growth. And this is another thing, as a team, guys, you gotta call it out. Call it out of each other. When you see somebody making effort that they didn't make before, call it out. Make sure that they know you see them. Make sure they know it. Because this is the thing, so many of us are making little efforts. And sometimes when people don't see it, it's like, dang, man. Like, I feel like I'm trying to do more and nobody's even recognizing it. Right? Now, I'm not talking about the BS of like, let me make you feel good, even though you're not doing anything good. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about when you see somebody making the effort to bring light, to do better, and you see, and it's different than before, don't go, finally. That doesn't help anything, right? But if we go, I see it, and it makes a difference. Do you see how that spreads? And that lifts somebody up. And when somebody's lifted, we all get lifted. Right? Alright, who else? And we got a couple left, yeah?
I go kayaking a lot. Me and my daughter.
Nice.
That's our fun little sport on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
What else, Whitney? And this is why I say it, because that's an awesome thing for you to do that you really enjoy and that she enjoys. It's a way for you guys to connect. But then there's something for you that you only do for you, whether it's reading or what you're listening to or what you're doing to continue to grow you.
I do a devotional book in the morning and kind of journal
Yeah.
at the same time.
Awesome.
And I do a singles mom group, Beloved Tara and I.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was more in there already with me. Yeah, I dig it.